I'm just questioning what the standard of process is that is fair for everybody. And it needs to be the same standard. So Ezekiel Elliott got a 6-game suspension for an count of domestic violence that he never got charged for either, even though the NFL did an investigation. So, like, what's the standard there? And the biggest question I have today is I want to go back in time and ask Roger Goodell why Big Ben's suspension was dropped from 6 games to 4.
You don't have to go back in time. You can ask him now.
I want to ask him, why was it dropped from 6 games to 4? Like, what facts in your mind allowed you to drop that from 6 games to 4?
Wouldn't it be the number of accusers? Because if it's 1 or 2, athletes are targets. It's true. You don't want to disbelieve the accuser, but you cannot presume guilt. No charges are brought, and you're talking about 2 different people, which is worse than 1 person, which is worse than no people, right? In terms of the accusation. 24 makes it so obvious that what's going on that you can't turn off your brain. You just can't do it. It's too many different women saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, also when you look at what Sue L. Robinson found in her findings, right, she basically agreed with the NFL and what they found. So for the NFL to not appeal this, it definitely, in my eyes, would have been a horrible look when she basically sat there and said things were egregious. He did act in a predatory way. You have to appeal.
But to Jay's point, Harry, she did refer to precedent set in the NFL.
Oh, no.
That's it.
All that was in there.
But I don't know why that is. That, to me, seems to be a corrupting influence here because the whole point of an independent arbiter is that you break precedent because people are not happy with the way it's gone in the past.
Correct.
So for her to rely so heavily on precedent is why some people feel and have written about the idea that the NFL intentionally selected a judge where this is away from her area of expertise in order to get the desired result, which is, according to this theory, a lower suspension. And now I will put another thing together here on top, layer that a little bit. Maybe because since they have this button they can hit to appeal to themselves, they can now step in, tack on another couple games, or maybe even say, we want an indefinite suspension. And Deshaun Watson says, well, I'm going to sue. Well, you're probably going to lose, but it's going to be. Okay, we'll tell you what. We're going to raise it 2 games. You have to reapply, but provided between now and then, no other women come forward, not about what's happened in the past, but what's happening now going forward, you're going to be reinstated. Some kind of compromise like that gets made. The NFL gets to take a bow because, look at this, they were tough. They do care. They had an independent person, but they said, no, not good enough. He needs more. And he still gets less than half a season.
But we also know that Sue L. Robinson kind of threw the NFL under the bus and basically confirmed what a lot of people thought, is that the NFL has been so inconsistent and not on the same playing field when it came to them discipline people of this nature and things of matters like this. So we do know that now. She did confirm that in so many ways.
And also, Lisa, question. So what's the point of having an independent arbiter if you're going to undermine her? There's no point.
Something. Do you feel
there's no point in having somebody like she might as well not even be there?
Do you? Well, for
it's obviously
the optics.
Of
yes, the optics.
Yes, that's what I said. It feels like a marketing ploy.
Jerry Jones was right. Goodell was in a bad position from a point of view of marketing the league, and they put him in a much better position. And I think that's playing out now. How much of it seems to me to be multi-layered. On the one hand, there's this very serious issue, and especially since the Me Too movement of sexual assault and this kind of thing. And so there's a lot of anger about that, but give him more. But there's also the idea that Ben Roethlisberger, a white quarterback, was given a certain suspension, and Deshaun Watson, a black quarterback, was given a certain suspension. So wait a minute, why are these things equivalent or not equivalent, right? It's layered not only by gender, but also by race. I think there are a lot of emotions mixed up in the whole thing, seems to me. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.